Tim Cowlishaw, he's got sources because he's a journalist, Dallas Morning News columnist, and, of course, the star of Around the Horn. You want to get in on this over-under first quarterback selected at 13.5. So,
oh, my goodness.
Okay, so Paulie has the under. He says that a quarterback will be selected in the first 13 picks, and he has faith in a GM making a mistake. Where do you stand?
I mean, you think normally, even though there's only a couple that have a shot at the first round, I think somebody's going to convince themselves, we know more about, Kenny Pickett or whoever than others, and he's our guy. I can't imagine 13's a long way to go. Yeah. I take the under.
Do you did you have a quarterback you fell in love with and he turned out to be a bust?
I was pretty big. Excuse me. I was pretty big on the Drew Henson bandwagon, and I'm going to have to say that.
How did that work out? How did that work out, Tim?
That bandwagon lasted for one half of the Bears Thanksgiving game, and Bill Parcells took the keys out of the ignition, and he was never seen again.
See, that's why when you hear about these mock drafts, Tim, and everybody missed on Tom Brady.
Yes,
everybody.
Right. So and that's. Yeah, I mean, nobody knows. They make so many mistakes at quarterback. You see the guy. I mean, I was a big Josh Rosen guy. Everybody was Gil Brandt, Troy Aikman. They were all big Josh Rosen guys. He's been on 4 teams now? I mean, he just travels from team to team. It's hard. I don't know why quarterbacks are so hard. We had people back in my radio days when Dak Prescott's draft. 2 or 3 prominent people saying Dak Prescott is, I wouldn't even take him in the 4th round. And then he did what he did. So it's just weird.
Yeah. And I always wonder the degree of difficulty of making it as a quarterback in the NFL, but making it as a Cowboy quarterback, because there's so much more that goes along with that territory. And here you have Tony Romo and you have Dak Prescott. These weren't highly thought of quarterbacks, but they did succeed, or they have succeeded. And, being there with Jerry Jones, the pressure of trying to win another Super Bowl, that adds to the degree of difficulty. There's no other place in the NFL where you have that.
I don't think so. And I think it's not just because it's this massive America's team franchise, but it's exacerbated by the 26 years without an NFC championship game. It has been a long time since this team has done anything worth mentioning. And so every quarterback, are you going to be the guy? Now Dak's got his contract. Is he going to be the guy? Are they going to do it this year? The opportunity seems to be there, but who knows?
Yeah, I wondered about that. If you start to look at the injuries they pile up, and here's Dak with non-throwing shoulder, and I know it's minor surgery, but it's another surgery.
He went forever. He went through Mississippi State with really one minor injury, and he played 4 years. So he played a long time. He's not one of these guys who played a year or 2 in college. He played a long time, no injuries. 5 years in Dallas, no injuries. And then season 6, breaks the ankle, has this shoulder injury in camp, throwing shoulder, has a non-throwing shoulder surgery now, and you're saying, well, my gosh, he's brittle. He's falling apart right in front of our eyes. I mean, I don't think that's happening, but I think players get a little nervous when they've gone that long without anything, and all of a sudden stuff starts piling up a little bit.
And we always wonder about this. When a quarterback gets paid, that means somebody else doesn't get paid. And you start to look at the Cowboys now. I don't know if this is going to cost them Amari Cooper. I don't know. Do you stay with Zeke Elliott? What are some of the moves that you can see for a team that's over the salary cap?
Well, the 2 that are getting talked about and that Stephen Jones sort of addressed, and that I'm writing about for your Sunday paper, which I hope you'll buy.
Of course, I have a subscription. Yes.
That's why they asked me to send me my column earlier this morning. are Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence. They're the ones that they can get out of the contract. Amari, they save, I think, $16 million against Cam, but these are two of their better players.
I know.
Why are they talking about doing this at a time when Tom Brady just retired? Aaron Rodgers might be leaving Green Bay. The Rams are going to have all kinds of issues moving forward with their roster. The Cowboys are 12-5. Why are they always want to back up the truck? They always want to be cautious now. They did this after Dak and Zeke's rookie year. Oh, we're 13-3. Let's get rid of the entire secondary and start over there. I mean, so I don't know. They could get. I think it's foolish to get rid of either one of them. You can move money around with some contracts, and without just crippling your future. But they become this very frugal spending team, not taking risks, and that's not how they started, not how they won their last championship many moons ago.
And you start to look at that division. I mean, you just mentioned all the reasons why. It's the Cowboys' turn. It's their time. It should be. If you start to handicap the NFC, and you go back to that home loss, you start the playoffs. I mean, you just wonder if
I think the Eagles aren't coming, and then if they do things right, they'll be there quickly. They make 3 picks before the Cowboys make their first pick. If a couple of those guys are playing as rookies, if Hurts and Devontae Smith and some of their offensive players are moving forward, I don't know that Dallas is much ahead of them. I don't know about the Commanders and who is going to be their quarterback. But there's some people out there, and if I still don't know why Washington's defense went from great the year before to god awful.
Yeah.
But I would think with Chase Young back and others back, they could pick it back up. But you're right. Dallas has a year here. They're still better than all those teams for at least another year with their roster. Do something with that. Capitalize on that. Don't start worrying about 2024. And that's what they tend to do.
He's Tim Cowlishaw, Dallas Morning News columnist, ESPN Around the Horn contributor. How much in advance do you get the topics for Around the Horn?
Those are right off the top of our head, sir. We're not privy to any topics. There might be an email that goes out, and there might be a conference call at 9:30 Central Time on show days that some of the people show up for. And even I show up for it occasionally. So, yes, and we sometimes will say, yeah, we don't like this one as much. We like that one, and things get moved around a little. But in general, the great Aaron Solomon and Josh Bard mostly have that show, with a little help from Tony, have that show laid out when we hit the floor in the morning.
Have you ever gotten legitimately mad, or people have gotten legitimately mad at one another on Around the Horn?
Well, there was one person who used to get legitimately mad a lot.
Oh, Jay Mariotti.
I didn't say any names. I'm just saying there was one person who used to get mad a lot who isn't on the program. You do in a little way. You do, and then you back off. You go, what am I doing? Like, I didn't get enough points for that, so I'm not going to go down. So I have to just sit here instead of talking some more, and we're all getting paid the same. So you're not going to get too mad. There's occasionally you think you throw out a good line, and the host has somebody in his ear, and he's not really listening to you. It's like, Tony, how did you miss that? I'm giving you quality Goodfellas lines here, and you're not even paying attention. But for the most part, it's a pretty likable, amiable group at this point.
But if there was a fight, like who's coming out? Who's coming out of the octagon?
Who's coming out? Sarah Spain.
Ooh, I think Sarah Spain might be able to take you.
I don't have any doubt about Sarah Spain. I am going to be, doing the rope-a-dope there. It's going to be Sarah. And the other one might be a surprise. It might be Sedano. How about that?
Oh, okay.
How about Sedano?
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be me, Woody, or Plasty, or Bob. I think we're not past our prime or anything, just past the fighting stage.
No. You're right. You're past your prime.
Yeah, no. If I was, why would I be the featured Tim on this show? Tim Legler, the warm-up act he did an hour ago.
Who's had a better career, you or Tim Legler?
Why am I hesitating? I'm trying to think of a way. Let's see. He can go out there and make like 98 out of 100 free throws when he wakes up. That's impressive, and I know he can do that. I guess Legler has just a slight edge, but you know, there's others that would disagree with that.
Keep your head up, okay?
I'm going to try.
How are my Mavericks, by the way, since you guys shipped Kristaps Porzingis out of town?
Mention the good team in town. Luka's been on fire, which is not new, but kind of a new level of fire. You know, it's going to be interesting to see, can they haven't won a playoff game, as you may know, since 2011, since they beat the Heat for the title. Most teams don't follow up a championship by not winning a playoff series for 10 years. And they have done that. So there is a bit of an urgency to, okay, can you beat Utah? Can you beat Memphis? And I don't know. They have a different kind of team now without Porzingis. And they got a lot of point guards. And they're going to run a lot of point guards at you. And they do play defense. They play some very good defense in stretches. And that will be interesting to see in the playoffs.
Yeah, watching Luka against LeBron the other night, and Luka was inviting LeBron to guard him. He wanted.
Didn't you watch that game thinking Luka, whatever he wants to, is going to get the Mavericks back under control of this game?
Yes.
Yeah. Like the Lakers made this run, and okay, they're back in the game. Okay, they got a lead, but you just kind of feel like, okay, Luka's going to do whatever he wants against the Lakers, and LeBron doesn't have the support to be able to do everything he wants to do against anybody.
But I wonder about that. Luka got fat shamed or condition shamed to start this year. How did that play locally? And I think he's finally addressed it.
Yeah.
I think it kind of helped me.
And I think he certainly took it publicly the right way, and well, privately he did get in better shape, but he seemed to acknowledge he wasn't in as good a shape as he should have been at the start of the year after Olympic stuff and other stuff in the offseason. But I mean, he's in his best shape now, and it's really not. I mean, I don't think people get that he just turned 23, and how few players do that much. 3 All-Star games and all the different things he's done before turning 23.
When are you on Around the Horn again?
Danny, I've done my 2 shows this week. I did not collect the victory. Did not even make a showdown, I don't believe.
Wow.
So we're going to regroup over the weekend. I'm eligible for shows Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm going to, for the first time in 20 years, I'm going to Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament. I'm going to go see a little Big 12 hoops. See some of those fine teams, Baylor and Tech and Kansas, Texas, even TCU beating top 10 teams. So it'll be Monday or Tuesday.
All right. Well, I'm always rooting for you whenever you're on.
I appreciate the text messages after the victories, the flowers.
Yeah.
They're always welcome.
Thank you, Tim.
Call me Sauce.
Sauce Cowlishaw. That's Tim Cowlishaw, Dallas Morning News columnist, ESPN Around the Horn contributor.